Okay, so yeah, we as Ivan asked, we start from the questions and answers to make sure we're covering and keeping people up to date what is happening. Um, yeah, so robustness tests are pretty unique. That I'm still not 100% about this decision, and it was not propagated. But robustness is the only sub makefile that we run, so it's included at the here at the top. I don't know if that's the. It has some advantages and disadvantages. You can decide. I just it was easier to convince, I think, at that time, Benjamin to have a separate makefile for clarity and keep the targets there. It has downside that you still need to run all commands from the main directory. Um, that's why you need to. That's why it's not make file. It's just an MK file. So to I know distinguish between it. But yeah. So yeah, Makefile has a lot of. We've grown lot of a couple of targets. I hope that yeah, I think they're still pretty well documented. Um, so yeah, let me just double. Yeah, so I think there are 4 sections. First is testing branch, with testing the main branch and previous releases, and I think this is I don't know what you're mostly interested in. So to for each release brand, or how to explain, for robustness test, we want to test etcd binaries of previous releases, or all the releases, but also for each particular release we want to test how upgrades and downgrades, how it behaves with other releases. So basically, for each branch we and main and each previous release we have a target that decides a test and a matching pro, a test suite running on pro, the periodic. And in that test suite we compile previous. Interestingly, we compile here are the rules for compilation. We compile the previous main, and so for main branch we compile the main and one previous release. So for main we compile main and 3.5. For 3.5 we compile 3.5 and 3.4, and so on. For 3.4 we don't test 3.4 like compatibility down. I think yeah, hybrid clusters were introduced in 3.3. Yes. So we compile all those manually because we want to compile them with fail points. So that's why there is a suffix of fail point. So it's a separate, non-trivial or separate configuration. Yeah. So for 3.6, I expect that we will change that the main branch is tested with 3.6 release. We started testing it, but it would be good to make sure that after we tag 3 points, in the main branch we tag the cluster version of 3.7. I think that's because currently the main branch is treated as a different version of 3.6 or different build of 3.6.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not critical to but it would make, I don't know, maybe that's just one thing one thing to take to include, that we should at some point decide that we are developing 3.7 on main branch.
Yeah, and I was thinking that setting the version to 3.7 may happen after we do the 3.60 release. So I feel
Yeah.
like I feel like right now we don't need a change in the robustness test, right? So we just leave testing the main branch until we do the release, or what do you think?
So, I mean, now 3.6 is a separate branch, which means we are have a separate we are have a separate development. I think we are doing cherry picks. I don't think we are for now. The cherry picks are trivial because there is no like feature development 3.7 that would change the code enough, so they are trivial. But we should have. It would be good, before 3.6 release to have a full setup of the CI/CD, which should include testing the 3.6.
And so
Um,
if we wanted to do that right now, so it will be just duplicating if I understood correctly, it will be duplicating like 8 through 10, but we will keep main with previous version release 3.5 and release 3.6 with previous version 3.5, right? Because we don't have a
yes.
main is still not 3.7.
I mean, we could test if we start testing 3.6. If we have a target for 3.6 that we test with 3.5, we don't need to do it twice. We could already set it up that main test it with. I think I mean, don't think it matters more, but we could already do a full setup that we test main with 3.6, even though it will be the same. It will not make a difference. It will be same build or same cluster version, but it will be future proof. And then have a target for 3.6 that tests with 3.5. So that would make, if we set it that way, that we already make just a clear step forward. So I would recommend copy, instead of copying 3 points like lines 8 to 10, I would copy 12 to 14 and just shift all versions up, and also like update here, so main is tested, so that it would, in that way it would clearly, we would just shift and it will be feature proof. For some time we would be testing main with 3.6, but I don't think it matters more. It would just make the configuration, uh, like, it would just make it future proof.
Okay. I think I'm gonna start a pull request, and if you can review it, it will be great. And then so
Yeah.
just the bottom part of the make file, so it's testing very specific issues with, or actually the second part. So you have like the targets like issue, test robustness issue 14370. It's a specific version and a specific issue, right? So every time there's an issue, you lock the version, and so there's nothing that we should do there.
Yes. So second section should stay as it is. It binds. We pick exact version, so we of etcd, and it will not change. So this only changes when we add a new reproduction here.
Okay.
Next, fail points. Fail points is based on for main. So this is like how we set up fail points on main branch. So it doesn't matter. Doesn't influence the 3.6 cut. And one thing that uh, here, one thing that here changes. We should. This is interesting. Why? What does this exactly mean? Oh, is this? Hmm. So this is incorrect setup, or maybe we used it for some time or something. I think we tried to use it. Yeah. So this is incorrect. What I mean, it doesn't use. There is no 3.6 release, and the 3.6 release is not built from main. So we should remove this.
Or should we replace it with dash dash branch release 3.6?
I mean, there is a convention not well maintained that you either have etcd v and version with some, I know, suffix of, I know, internal version usually, or you have a branch, so you would have something like this. So release 3.6.
Got it.
Yeah, so that would make it, and then you would have clearly 3.6. At some point, this could be replaced by automated.
Okay. I think this
No,
clears a lot the what I was discussing with Benjamin, right?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, there is a lot of duplication here just because there are a lot of like small details and exceptions that are hard to see, maybe I was just overprotected and didn't want to over template on each exact thing because then it would be harder to modify or but yeah, so high level we need another um branch here, target for a new branch, a new target here. And
Okay. I'll open a pull request soonish, and then I'll add you as a reviewer.
no problem. I can like rubber stamp it. It's a pretty simple change. Yeah, would be also good to maybe add comment about this command, explain it because it's a different type of. And yeah, that's high level.
Thank you.
So let me leave it note.
And I have a question. Since
Yeah.
after we have release 3.6, do we need to run the release 3.4? I'm not sure. We need to keep it.
So there was this some discussion and high level, like it's a question of how much community so community support is decision of community. So it's a question how where we put that, like what is our goalpost. So historically we were supporting all releases from 3.0 until I proposed to reduce them to just two versions when we went back to maintainers and all the releases were manual. Um, so yeah, that was just reduction because person that was maintaining previous releases was previous maintainer that was from Red Hat. He was maintaining all the like free releases of 3.0, 3.1, 3.2, and left the project. So we were not able to do that. How many releases we support? I think this is like it's up to us decide. Current agreement between me and Benjamin is we would, because there was not no release for a long time and the decision to cut support releases was maybe not we didn't get a lot of feedback, but also um, but we still expect people are running 3.4.
Okay.
We got an agreement that will run or support etcd 3.4 for at least for 1 year more. So after a release in, I think in April, we'll just maintain the targets and backport security fixes to 3.4. And yeah, maybe possibly bug
Okay.
fixes until it's out of support. By that would be around April 2026. Whether we keep 2 or 3 versions or we have, that's for future. We just want to make sure that 3.4 is really supported for people have more time to to live with 3.6 release, which might be a change. But high level, we will go into higher cadence. We want to go to higher cadence of releases. Just question: can we get people to? Do we feel secure that we can, or safe enough that we can have more people to contribute more in critical places? And if there are people like willing to dive into that.
Okay. Thank you.
So yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. If not, I think we can go back to the rest of the agenda. So we had, I was out for a week, but I don't think there were any new issues, or I'm not right. So let me, yeah. Yeah, there is, I think there is, last week we posted, we found a bug in robustness test suite that, and we dig into and debugged that it's an issue with patching history. And I think Joshua has looked into it deeper and found that there is a issue with logic. So he's working on a fix, and we'll see how it goes. And yeah, and there is one other thing that I should find time to start organizing. But long story short, we there was a discussion with one of, or overall there robustness tests were created as a result of etcd needing to have a tool for testing correctness, but not being able to find any ready solution for that. And the model of previous model of using the Jepsen testing and contractor didn't work for us, because like for a couple of reasons. So we ended up building robustness test, but in the meantime, like the robustness tests have its limit. We cannot like do everything ourselves, and it's getting and any help would be useful. So me and Madev have been in talks with a startup called Antithesis, which is a company focusing on reproducible testing and finding bugs in a reproducible way. And their product high level is a proprietary VM, virtual machines and virtualization that allows you full reproducibility of issues. And yeah, we've been in talks for them, and finally got a sponsorship, or at least a week ago there was this that the sponsorship was approved. It was just on the legal stage, so with the hope that we'll start, I think next week, or the we'll start working on the contract. So high level, the Antithesis works like a separate CI, which is good and bad, and we need to have a separate integration to it. They require you to provide a setup as set of containers that or like basically Docker Compose file, and then they run the Docker Compose file, and during the execution they run scripts, or you can provide them scripts with assertions that and those assertions can validate like the state of the application to make sure that it's to assert whether it's behaving correctly or not. And they're handling all the failure injection. They are handling the seeding, the entropy, and all those things, and networking to make sure that each run is unique but also fully reproducible based on some hash that they provide. And as a result, so when we provide them the Docker file and the set of like assertions, they run they run them in their CI, and at the end provide a reproducible results, or like they run it for like they provide, I think, a VM or like a couple of VMs machines that run it most of the time, and you get back reports with description of the bug and exact reproduction step, or and the option to reproduce it, I think, again. And so high level, we would like to have to construct to take our robustness tests as set of split out or take out, or maybe take out, expose the validation part of robustness test, which is validating the linear usability, validating the watch, and put it as a validation for antithesis, and and yeah, use it to for them to be able to test it on their own infrastructure. They even, I think, proposed in their early assessment, they have created something similar that uses a similar linearization approach. And I don't remember, where is it? No, it's not RustDB. Yeah, they have something that, oh yeah. Yeah, they also use Porcupine to validate the linear usability. So hopefully this, I asked them for this example that you could configure, we could configure same plug in, try to plug in our own model from robustness test and see if it works. And yeah, high level, the goal is to utilize within 3 months time, utilize the antithesis infrastructure, their unique reproducibility to improve testing and qualify etcd for more broader set of cases, and hopefully what we get from that is we get we find some bugs if there are any. We identify which areas, though, I mean, we fix them and know what are the gaps in current robustness tests that we could improve, and maybe we could and integrate it. I don't know. There is still possibility everything works well, that and we will antithesis will be long-term solution, but I think that's a hard thing to sell because it's yeah, we don't have enough like rapid development, and they're like paid platform that would require constant sponsorship from CNCF. So currently, like we hope to get as much what we can in 3 months contract. Yeah, so if anyone is interested, please volunteer on the issue. And yeah, are there any questions relating to that?
Quick question about the mentorship program. Fasol's indicating interest on this issue. Will they be overlap? Does one who is interested in in working on this and has indicated interest has to also indicate interest via the mentorship program?
So yeah, I was the one that I mentioned this as a project for mentorship project program as just an area that we need to develop, and we need someone a longer investment. So it's harder to maintain such investment by contributors going in and out from the project and having their own commitments. So my goal would be if I can have if there is a person interested in working on it and they would like to get more into HCD, I would hopefully help them get. I would invest my own time as part of the mentorship to help them get through it and work with them together. Um, so it's not necessarily cannot work on it as not mentorship. It's just like long term. Such investments either pay out like cannot be like if we abandon them early or there we don't use our 3 months. I mean we have this 3 months is I asked about it and we are able to pause it and I know delay it if we are not able to get people interested for some time, and people are I know going and have their own personal things to attend, but we need to have some investment to make sure that this moves forward. So my preference would be someone can commit I know couple of hours weekly or like I know couple like 10% of their time week time or more into to working on this to make sure that we are making progress every week and not doesn't get stuck as you know issue for newcomers and they are not responsive. So yeah, and I expect like as part of mentorship there is the idea of having a weekly syncs and investment from both sides on time investment. So I hope that yeah a mentorship should help that. Yeah, any other questions? Okay. Yeah. So I've high level. I'm still waiting for the response, like or for confirmation on the contract being signed. So. Mm. Mm. Oh, I always just make sure and yeah. Okay. Mm. Okay, so those are those two issues. So next step, if anyone is unfamiliar, during the meeting, I mean, part of the goal of the meeting is maintain and improve the robustness testing. So we try to, on every meeting, we look at the recent flakes or errors in the testing, and looks like we have more than normally. Yeah, so looks like we still haven't solved the member downgrade upgrade issue. It's been common for last week. So let's look at a couple of them. So at least those were no longer here. Okay, let me open just, and here we have drop your network, upgrade, downgrade, one flake on memory size, upgrade, downgrade, upgrade, downgrade, upgrade, downgrade. And those are subtest and upgrade. Okay. So this is main. On the here, most flakes are. Oh, we have one upgrade downgrade here. Let's look at this one upgrade down. Yeah, I would like to have it fixed, but we have one unique with error here, not related to it. Yeah. And because the 3.5 doesn't run upgrade downgrade tests, neither does, yeah, on ARM also, and 3.4, they are green. Almost green. So make sure I didn't miss anything here. Okay, maybe let's start from the end because it might be more interesting. So we have one failure with defrag before rename panic. This looks like either it's the same case that from 2 weeks or it's like same flake. So no, it's a new flake. So we have maybe let me note it as an instance of an issue. So interestingly, this issue didn't happen before, or was, or maybe let's reverse. So cases. So we have one case of this bug. Yeah, and it's this case because it's issue with the linearization, and it's the same panic with interface is new. Yeah, and we have the same case here. I think I think I can guess why it happens. Or not how it happens, why it happens on this fail point. So we have one fail point that is always causing it. Okay, look, before we dive into upgrade downgrade, maybe I can find the one case that was unique. Okay, here's the unique case. Okay, so we have also a case of it, but just combined with other failures. So yeah, we have also new issue with interface. So in case of member downgrade upgrade, I was hoping we merge the fix. the main cause of issues here is the test is timing out. It's just the case, like if you read the error, this is, I think, failed. Yeah, so because test is timing out early, we don't see it. Verify cluster. So this is the main error that we are looking for. I think we will see that all those cases will have repeated this error. And to just quickly see what's the status of the fix. Maybe we merged it. Increase timeout for the upgrade downgrade tests. This is upgrade downgrade tests, but this is, and I think this is okay. So this is the test, but we still see failures. So the PR was merged last week, February 6th. So it definitely is not fixed. One thing that might, I don't know, would this be useful? So the test was taking like 1.5 minutes before, and now it's also taking one like around this time. Okay, and I think this needs to be debugged, but I don't know if we would be able to. Okay, so I think that we should just note that we are still having a lot of failures.
I can take a look on this because I think it might be related to the case. Yeah.
Okay. 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 Great, thanks. Um, so we have this. Just to double check if there's any or any different errors, because we run the test like tens or hundreds of times. It's usually there's nothing unique here. I mean, we also have a issue with progress notify, but that's, I think, unrelated, not super related.
Yeah, I was investigating this case. It's hard to reproduce it. Yeah, sometimes when there is a lot of write request to the API server, and no to the SCD, but the SCD still can get a lot of write events, so it might want to send the notifications. So we might hit this error.
What kind of
So
notifications?
so the notification only sent per it can only be sent when there's no write event, right? So if there is a lot of write events, SD won't send a notification won't send a notification, so we will get a fail.
Okay, this is at least interesting. We have this scenario is passing since, or at least for some time. Oh, it's so hard. And those are consistently failing. Oh, cluster of size 1. So so that might be issue not related to the timeouts. I mean, at least maybe this is a timeout, but looks like this is. Remember that downgrade upgrade should not be. Yeah, so this scenario that was okay with one member started failing, and the cases that were very flaky started passing more. So increasing timeout worked, but something else something else happened here. I don't know. This is second of 3rd of February, which is weird. Because this was merged 6 on 6. So there is no significant difference of increasing the timeout. a screenshot. So let me. So this was, as I mentioned, this was merged on 6. So we would expect difference on 7th. And February. So, yeah. So it looks like I think that previous assumption that's timeout was not correct. Cluster of size 1. Yeah, it's strange that clusters of size 1 because previously they were passing pretty well. Okay, I don't think we need to go into debugging here. Let's leave it here. Leave it for now. I think we have. Yeah. So. Yeah. So let me just note that we reopened and updated issue. Okay, I think that's all. Are there any questions? Okay. Thanks, everyone. Hope it was informative. The next meeting is in 2 weeks, so hope to see you there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Bye.